All right, shalom, shalom, y'all. This is part two of the video. So, as I was saying, even here in Babylon the Great, you know, you have to be circumspect on what's happening because people are. And matter of fact, let me get this word circumspect, so you know what it means. Circumspect,
Circumspect. Circumspect.
right? Wary and unwilling to take risks, right? And really, it means to look around. Circum meaning circling, meaning to look around, to look 360 around. Inspect is to see, right? To look around, be watchful, right? Cautious. You see how the similar words are cautious, wary, careful, sherry or cherry. How do you pronounce this word?
Cherry.
Right? Let's go to cherry. What does this mean? It says cautiously or suspiciously reluctant to do something, right? Guarded, discreet, watchful. That was beautiful right there. Watchful. Watching or observing someone or something closely, alert and vigilant, right? Didn't that first Peter 5 and 8 say be vigilant? So it says, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. Not only out there in those places, you need to be watching because of the actions of this devil, Esau, Edom, and how that's going to have a negative effect on you being out in the Middle East or in even anywhere that you not in Babylon the Great, because everybody's starting to turn on this place. So you know what I mean? The Akim that's out there, the elect, the hopeful elect that's out there in those in these countries and stuff, they're gonna have to be, vigilant on what's happening. They're gonna have to pay attention what's happening because, that can very well be your end for you not, paying attention. But here in Babylon the Great, as I was saying, we gotta watch out anyway, because this devil, he coming down with great wrath. He know he have but a short time, and then look, when he shut this thing down, it's gonna be even worse, like than it was the last time. This time, he's going to implement martial law. You know, he's going to, and ain't gonna be no traveling. Ain't gonna be none of that shit. Hold on, let me see. Gonna get second address 15, right? It's going second Ezra 15 and verse 17. The man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And you're not going to be able to go freely and just walk about how you see fit anymore. It ain't going to be none of that. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And this will happen due to them trying to keep people locked down. And you see how all of this is painting itself, especially with the Strait of Hormuz and how this can cause a global economic famine, right? This can cause very well a famine here in Babylon the Great. And um, if they shut everything down, which we can see that they're about to set this in play, then it won't be access to stores. And if it is access to stores, the stores only keep 3 days worth of food into the stores. And then it'll become looting because, you know what I mean? People don't have the means to go to work in order to have the money to pay for the shit that these high increased inflation type of prices that's about to come about due to the Strait of Hormuz being closed. It's a perfect combination and recipe of disaster to happen. So it's like, you know, the cities are going to be troubled. There's going to be civil war because people going to fight against these ICE officers. Because you got to think about it. They already got ICE officers out here on the streets and stuff, right? How much more when the martial law pop off, the military and ICE coming into this joint and making things even worse, right? They already don't give a damn about coming into your house and caring whether you have uh legal citizenship in here. The people they've been deleting have been legal citizens. So it ain't even about that. It's not about that's just the facade of it all. But it's really to come against you, Jake. You know? And verse 18 says, "For because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation." And this is why, you know, things are going to get real heavy. Now, look, uh, we have been prophesying this to you all, that's out there that's listening and stuff, right? Now, for those who's not taking heed, hey, that's gonna be on you, right? That's gonna be completely on you. Matter of fact, did I get it? Yeah, I think I got everything. But yeah, y'all. So let me see. Did I read this? All right. And then that's what they basically gave them a warning, telling them like, "Hey, if you were traveling over there, you basically ain't gonna be able to get back to this joint. So you might as well, get comfortable over there." They already kind of made that a possibility in Mexico because they riled up the cartel leaders. They deleted him and caused the cartel to start going crazy, so people can't travel in and out of there. They still haven't said nothing about that lately, right? Babylon just causing chaos everywhere they go at this point. When you hear them talking about then look, they was just talking about Cuba too. All right, Cuba is in the dark, right? And then they were saying that they starting to establish power back to that John, but hey man, he was just saying a couple of days ago that he about to go off in there. So right? And then look at this. Why everybody talking about the spring break bullshit, right? It says the alert comes after Iranian military spokesperson Jen Alpavazo Shakarchi issued a statement specifically referring tourist hotspots just as Americans travel for spring break. For now on, based on the information we have about you, even parks, recreational areas, and tourist destinations anywhere in the world will no longer be safe for you, he said. Hey, look, that's what's happening with Esau. Like, remember with Cain, he was like, I'm gonna be cursed anywhere I go. If a man find me, then they will try to slay me, right? And that's look, that's about to come true now. You know what I mean? The Heavenly Father said no at the time, like, nah, whoever try to slay you, they're gonna be they're gonna be cursed or whatever. They're gonna, be fucked up, basically, if they try to slay you. But now, these Edomites, they look, you know how before when everybody was cool on being an Edomite, they're like, man, even certain Jakes like, man, I wish I was an Edomite. Basically, they were saying they wish they was a so-called white person and stuff because of how good, so to speak, their life was. But I bet they about to regret that shit. Nah, like But that's pretty much it, y'all. And with that, I'm gonna give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Shalom, y'all. On to the next one.